How many times have you said something in anger and later regretted it? In that moment, you feel you have to respond, that you must defend yourself, that you cannot stay silent. But every time you insult, argue, or fill yourself with rage, you are not showing your strength. You are giving away your power. Today, I am going to show you a different path, one that was not taught to you at school, at home, or in any self-help book. Because while others lose their heads, you are going to learn to master yours. And instead of responding with anger, you are going to respond with something far more powerful, something that will place you above any argument. We are not here to reject what we feel. Anger is not an enemy. Rage is not a curse. It is a signal, a call. Before we begin, I want to welcome you to the training that will change your emotional life forever. Let us begin. The ancient Buddhists taught that the one who masters anger does not suppress it, but transforms it, like the alchemist who turns lead into gold. You can turn your anger into wisdom if you learn to observe it without judgment. That is what I have come to teach you today. Thousands of people right now are struggling not to explode, not to say what they do not want to say, not to hurt the ones they love. You are one of them, and that already makes you brave. This is not about repressing. It is about directing. It is not about being perfect. It is about choosing better each time. Before speaking, breathe. Before reacting, think. Before judging, understand. And before hating, remember who you are. Take care of your calm the way you take care of your soul. Because without calm, there is no clarity. And without clarity, there is no freedom. I speak to you from experience. And I invite you from today onward not to get angry, not to argue, not to insult, not to lose your calm. Just respond from the summit, from that sacred place where the monk who lives within you resides. Up to this moment, you have learned that your mind can be trained, that science and ancient wisdom are not separate, and that you can turn every emotion into an opportunity to grow. But this is only the beginning. Neuroscience has proven it. We are not victims of what we feel. We are architects of our neural connections. Natalie Collins reminds us that the brain does not forget, but it can replace, and that is where the key lies. You cannot erase your impulsive reactions, but you can build new pathways that lead you to another way of living. Anger does not appear out of nowhere. No one gets angry over what it seems. A shout is born where there was previously unheard silence. Fury comes from old wounds, from unmet expectations, from wounded egos. And this is where the first exercise comes in. When you are about to explode, do this exercise called the intelligent response. Stop. Literally stop what you're doing. Look at a fixed object, like a glass or a plant, and repeat internally. I am choosing to respond, not react. This simple act trains your brain to return to yourself, to not be carried away by the fire of the moment. The subconscious is also trained. Your subconscious is a habit-making machine. It does not distinguish between what is useful and what is destructive. It only repeats but it also learns. The neuroscientist Nicole Vigiola explains it clearly. Repetition shapes identity. If every day you practice self-control, you are creating a new version of yourself, one that does not shout, that does not run away, that does not attack, one that breathes, reflects, and chooses with freedom. Ancient philosophy teaches us not to give in to anger, to protect calm. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught that the problem is not what happens. The problem is how you interpret it. You cannot control what others do, but you can decide how you are going to live it. That, my dear listener, is freedom. Taoism also gives us a great lesson. Water does not fight the rocks. It simply flows around them and in the end transforms them. Do not fight what you cannot control. Train yourself to flow with what life in Australia places before you. Today we have planted the seed of a new way of seeing. You are not a slave to your emotions. You are their guide, their teacher, their alchemist. From today onward, repeat every morning when you wake up. Today I will respond with wisdom, not impulse. Today I will not lose my peace over what I cannot control. Today I will protect my calm the way I protect my life. We still have a long way to go. In the next part, I will teach you the most powerful daily rituals I use to maintain serenity, even when the world shouts. And I will share with you the secrets of neuroscience so you never again argue over trivial things. You already know that anger is not the enemy. On the contrary, it is a signal that the problem is not feeling, but reacting without awareness. And that every time you choose to pause, you are building new neural pathways. Now we will go deeper. The exercise is called the inner sentinel. For the next 3 days, you are going to observe your emotions without trying to change them. When you feel anger, do not block it. Just say to yourself softly, I am feeling anger. It is only an emotion. It does not define me. I am not going to feed it. This distance between you and the emotion is the beginning of inner freedom. Paul Ekman, a world-renowned expert on emotions, has shown that labeling an emotion accurately reduces its intensity by 30%. Naming it is deactivating it. Now, I am going to tell you something uncomfortable. But listen with an open heart. The people who awaken your anger the most are your true teachers. Yes, just as you hear it. The people who make you the angriest are teaching you something. They are mirrors that show you which part of you still needs healing. It irritates you when you are interrupted. Maybe as a child, no one listened to you. It enrages you when you are contradicted. Perhaps you learned that your worth depends on being right. It angers you when others do not keep their promises. Maybe you have failed yourself too many times. In the words of Henry Corvera, others do not do anything to you. They only activate something that already exists within you. That is why this is not about changing the other person. It is about seeing what that emotion reveals about you. Dr. Caroline Leaf proposes 5 steps that you can apply every time you feel anger taking over. This method is called Neurocycle, and it is one of the most effective for transforming mental patterns. Here I adapt it for you in a practical version. 1. Become aware. Observe what you are feeling without judging yourself. 2. Reflect. Why am I feeling this? What thought triggered it? 3. Write it down. Make a note of it. The simple act of writing reduces mental chaos. 4. Replace. Look for a healthier thought. For example, they are not attacking me. They are just expressing their frustration. 5. Act consciously. Breathe. Move. Change your environment, but do not react yet. Doing this daily trains your nervous system to stop living defensively and begin living with personal mastery. Do you know one of the greatest enemies of emotional self-control? The content you consume. Do this for 1 week. Eliminate toxic content and replace it with silence. Nature, spiritual reading, or soft music. Your brain will begin to lower its level of activation and your calm will become more accessible. Take a notebook, carry it with you, and every time something makes you boil inside, write down what happened. What did I think? What did I feel? What did I do? What could I have done differently? This simple journal, practiced for 10 days, will show you your pattern. And the first step to change is recognizing the path you always take. If today you took care of your emotional health the way you take care of your physical appearance, if you trained your mind the way you train your muscles, you would be much stronger in the face of life. Because calm is not an emotion that arrives, it is a decision that is built. And as the Taoist master Lao Tzu said, mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is the true power. I promise you this. You will never again be a slave to anger. In the next part, I will teach you the exercises of the ancient sages combined with the most recent discoveries of neuroscience. A powerful fusion so you can live with equanimity, even in the middle of chaos. And I will show you how to protect your energy in toxic environments. Because the world is not going to stop shouting, but you can stop living with the ears of your soul filled with noise. Stay with me. The summit awaits us. If you have made it this far, I want to tell you something with an open heart. You are not the same as you were a few minutes ago. You have changed, even if only a little. You have awakened a seed within you, a seed of self-control, of wisdom, of light. Now, we will complete that process. I will give you the most powerful exercises I know, not so that you accumulate them, but so that you live them. And like a monk who has walked through the valleys of rage and learned to sit and converse with his own shadows, today I come to give you the tools to turn your inner fire into a sacred flame. Sometimes it is not your lack of inner strength that pulls you into anger. It is the environment in which you live. If you are surrounded by complaints, shouting, criticism, insults, negativity, or constant grievances, your brain is shaped by that energy. That is why the first thing I ask of you is this. Do an emotional cleansing of your environment. 1. Identify the people who always drain you. 2. Set healthy boundaries. This is not about pushing them away, but about not allowing them to destroy your peace. 3. Surround yourself, even if only virtually, with people who inspire calm. Listen to talks, read books, watch videos, but nourish yourself with serenity. Your peace is not negotiable, and every day you choose to protect it, you are creating a more resilient mind. Practice this exercise that has saved relationships, avoided arguments, and protected hearts. When you feel anger rising up your throat like lava about to erupt, do the following. 1. Say softly, I need some time to think. 2. Step away from the place. Walk, breathe. 3. Instead of mentally repeating what was said to you, repeat, which part of me is reacting? This changes the focus. It is no longer about the other person. It is about you, about your story, your wounds, your ego. And once you have regained your center, return and speak from there. The neuropsychologist Ana Ibanez explains that taking physical and emotional space deactivates the threat circuit in the brain. It is like putting out a fire before it reaches the emotional kitchen of your life. The Stoic sages practiced a technique called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They imagined the worst case scenarios, not to become pessimistic, but to strengthen their minds. What if that friend insults me? What will I do if my partner responds with offensive words? How will I act if someone speaks badly of me? Visualize it, anticipate it, and decide now. I will respond with serenity. I will not allow anyone to decide for me how I should feel. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like the one who harmed you." I recommend this exercise that comes from yoga, but is validated by science and has even been adopted by special military forces to control extreme emotions. Box breathing. 1. Inhale, counting to 4. 2. Hold the air, counting to 4. 3. Exhale, counting to 4. 4. Stay without air, counting to 4. Do this for 2 minutes. Your nervous system will enter repair mode, and what seemed unbearable becomes manageable. Natalie Castellanos explains that conscious breathing regulates heart rate variability, which directly influences emotional state. And you know the best part? You can do it in the middle of an argument and no one will notice. Anger that is not expressed in a healthy way turns into illness. As a thank you for making it this far, I will teach you a morning ritual. Just 5 minutes to shield your calm. Before looking at your phone, sit with your back straight. 2. Place your hand on your chest and say, "Today I will not let myself be dragged by anger. Today I choose to respond with wisdom." 3. Take 5 deep breaths while looking at a fixed point. 4. Remember a recent situation in which you lost control. 5. Imagine it again, but now resolve it from calm. This exercise, practiced every morning, reprograms your brain so it is prepared when an emotional trigger appears again. Sometimes, when we talk about rituals or positive phrases, someone thinks that is cheap self-help. But this is not emotional placebo. This is neuropsychology. Explained Rick Hanson, neuropsychologist and author of The Buddha's Brain, reminds us that the brain is wired to detect threats. But if you train it, it can also learn to focus on the positive. You are not destined to repeat yesterday's mistakes. You only need practices that work in favor of your biology, not against it. Now I want to propose a silent but transformative training. It is one of the ones I use most in my daily life. Remember, anger is easy. Compassion is for the brave. And this can be trained every day when you wake up. Choose to forgive an old wound, and every night before sleeping. Bless even those who do not understand you. Little by little, your mind transforms. And where there was once a volcano, now there is a garden. Perform this simple but powerful ritual. Find a small stone that you can carry in your pocket. Every time you touch it, say to yourself, "Today I will not lose my center." That physical object anchors your emotional intention. And over time, it will become a symbol of your personal mastery. A stone, a word, a new version of you. Now, I want you to remember something, even on your worst days. Before speaking, breathe before reacting, think before judging, understand, and before hating, remember who you are.